Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fellow channel. It is Easter Sunday today, so I hope everyone's having a good Easter, and if you're particularly religious, I hope you all have a great weekend celebrating. Also, I hope the weather's good with you, you're having sunshine, and it's a nice day, and I hope everyone's families are doing fine and they're fit and healthy. Anyway, this video is about, I thought I'd do a weekly reads video, let you know what I've been reading over the past couple of weeks, history related, and what I'm planning to read next week as well. So the first book I'm going to mention, which I finished yesterday, was it's called The House of Tudor, A Grisly History, and that's written by Mickey Mayhew and published by Pen and Sword Books. Now, this is a fantastic little book. It obviously, as the title says, looks into the House of Tudor, all the various kings and queens and big events that went on in their lives during their time in power. But like the subtitle says, it's the grisly bits of history. So there's no niceties, there's quite a bit of head chopping off, disease, all the bad things really you can imagine that go on in life is in this book. But the book's it's in 45 chapters, so they're only small chapters, and you can kind of dip in and out of the book. So it's quite a good read. It only took me a couple of days to read, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. To give you an idea of some of the chapters, just go to the contents. He got Burn Baby Burn, The Monstrous Reign of Bloody Mary Tudor, The Curious Case of the Phantom Fetus, Bloody Mary Tudor's Gynecological Traumas, Splinters and Sorcerers, The Rough Wooings of Mary Queen of Scots, Mary Queen Liz, A Beginner's Guide to Bear Baiting, Stalking in the 16th Century, The Diabolical Death of David Rizzo, and The Kidnap of Mary Queen of Scots. It's Grim Up North, the 1569 Northern Rebellion, Henry VIII's Horrible Leg, and The Sweating Sickness. So as you can see, it tends to be the yucky side of history that the book concentrates on. It was a really good book. I enjoyed all the short chapters. The way it's written has been good, and it's quite punchy and to the point. So I found it really enjoyable. The only kind of downside was like the author often resorts to mentioning like modern day popular culture. So if you watch various TV series on Netflix and that, he brings them up kind of constantly or often refers to them. I found that was probably a downside to the book, but probably the only real one. But it was a good book, very good read. I know quite a few of my viewers like Tudor history, but you'll certainly find it quite interesting and a good read. The second book I've been reading is The Castles of Wales, another pen and sword book written by John Paul Davis. I've read the English version of this about obviously the English castles, but it was nice to read one about Welsh castles, considering I live in Wales. It's really good. I've been looking forward to it ever since the English version came out, but it's just a really good read. It tells you all about the histories of various castles around Wales, and considering there's about 550 castles in Wales, it's obviously picked out all the main ones and the big ones, but also those ones with a good story, or where there's maybe events or spicy dramas going on in various castles. It obviously refers to all of them. But a really good read. I would certainly recommend it. It's good if you like castles. It's not really about the building of the castles or anything like that. It's like the conflicts when people try to take over castles and that sort of thing, or if there's now any ghostly spirits or spectres that supposedly live in the castles as well. It tells you the tales and the reasons why they came about. But it's a very good book. Like I said, from Pen and Sword Books, priced at £25, and it's a nice, decent sized hardback. Now then, the third book I've been reading this week, well, I have finished reading this one actually. This is the Uboat War, a global history, 1939 to 45, written by Lawrence Patterson, and this is published by Osprey Publishing. But as the title says, it's like a global history, so it doesn't get too technical or in-depth, but obviously World War II is the main subject area, like the Battle of the Atlantic. It's a very good book. I quite like reading about the U-boats, because I tend to think that the U-boat war doesn't really get much of a mention in World War II history. It's usually land or air based, but actually so much went on, and from this book I've found that Germany, which is obviously the main concentration, they were kind of like this, have this image that, you know, they concentrated mainly on U-boats, and that they had such a big fleet of them, but actually the reality was that quite a few hadn't been finished or finished being made at the start of the war. The torpedoes weren't great, so you find actually if you're in the sea, your ship would often get sunk by mines rather than torpedoes, because they were more effective, and of course you can relay mines and rather than having to deal with torpedoes. But it's a good book. It's really informative. There's more detail in the, I would say, in the first 2/3 of the book, and then I thought towards the end it was kind of getting a bit skippy and it seemed a bit more vague. So I think most of the detail went into the first half of the book, but certainly one I'd recommend if you're wanting to find out more about the U-boat war, by Lawrence Patterson, published by Osprey Publishing. My copy was 25 UK pounds, so that's what I've been reading this week. And then finally, what am I going to read this coming week? Right, my first one, which I'm really excited about, is The Three-Cornered War. I've been meaning to get a copy of this for ages and ages. It's The Three-Cornered War, written by Megan Kate Nelson, and it's published by Simon & Schuster Books, or Scribner Books. But I've been really looking forward. And I've heard such a lot about it and other people's opinions, and you know, they've all managed to get copies and read it, so I'm kind of a bit behind the times. But then it's an American book, and I'm over here in the UK. So the Union, the Confederacy, the native peoples in the fight for the West. And it kind of looks at those kind of sort of people in one particular area. I think it's where a point of the joining of 3 of the states, and it's set around like the American Civil War. So I'm going to start this tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's The Three-Cornered War. And the second one I've planned to get read this week is Secrets and Scandals in Regency Britain, Sex, Drugs and Proxy Rule, written by Violet Fenn. I've read some of her books before and she's quite a good author. This is a pen and sword books and it's priced at £20 UK pounds. So I'm presuming from the title, because I haven't really read through the chapters yet, but it's more about scandal and obviously the subtitle Sex, Drugs and Proxy Rule, you know, some of the darker side of Regency Britain. So that should be a good one to read. And also, if you're a fan of the other things I'm hoping will come this week, I've got the first three books coming of the Bernard Cornwell season, the series of The Last Kingdom. Now some of you might have seen this on Netflix, and I shall leave a link to the trailer below this video in the description. I've watched that The Last Kingdom for the past few years on Netflix, and it's been really good. Set around the reign of King Alfred at the very start of England and his reign, and it revolves around a character who comes from who as a child loses his kingdom, called Pembrokeshire, and he gets ensconced in lots of problems as a being raised by the Danes, but he gets in with the King Alfred and often does favours for him and fights his battles and that sort of thing. So I've got those books coming, and it's actually a strange one for me because it's fiction, so or most of it's fiction based lightly on fact. So I'm really looking forward to those books, and they should be coming sort of Monday or Tuesday, so when they come I'll probably jump onto those books straight away. But anyway, that's my reading week for the past week and what's coming up. If you've read any of the books that I've mentioned, certainly leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought, your impressions, and if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and certainly make sure you subscribe to the channel because there'll be more videos coming soon. But other than that, happy Easter everyone who celebrates it, and I hope you're all fit and well and you have a good week. So thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you very soon.